Well, hello. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. My name is Danny Deals. The show is produced by executive producer extraordinaire Hurricane Lopez. Today, I would like to talk with you about TENX Therapeutics, ticker symbol TENX. It is April 11th, 2023. It's 9:43 a.m. out here in Los Angeles. It's 12:43 out in NYC. Hope it's a great day wherever you might be in this beautiful world that we all share. Um, we came back from the holiday weekend. 10x had traded as low as 34 cents. Um, and I was buying heavily at 34. I actually personally put in the floor on the stock. Um, and, people say, oh, that's BS. It's not BS, it's a fact. I called it out. I put in the order for 100,000 shares, and I only was filled on about 30% of those at 34 cents, and they turned around and gave up. And I was going to buy even more shares down there if I had to, because I know at this point it's shenanigans and they're going to flip. But they're going to push that short as far as they can, and I was sort of just done being pushed, and say, hey, if you're going to short down here, I'm going to go ahead and buy those shares, and they turned tail and they ran. Um, the volume has completely dropped out of the stock. You can see the share count has gone up massively with the cashless exercise of warrants to over 20 million shares, a market cap of 8.44 million, according to Yahoo Finance. Ortex actually still is not updated. Uh, I'm not sure why. NASDAQ. Um, I don't know if 10x has updated on NASDAQ. Let's take a look what kind of data they're showing. Obviously, the stock trades on the NASDAQ, so they should have up to date information. But I don't know if they do. Yeah, they're still showing the old market cap on NASDAQ and Ortex. It's very odd. Like Yahoo's updated and some of the other online sites have updated. My brokerages have not updated. So I'm not even positive what the real share count is right now. I have a feeling like these things have been exercised, but they don't start trading. There's some kind of period where, paperwork is processed, or, the shares are not on the exchange yet. But in any case, the it looks like these things were exercised and the share count has gone up. I don't see why some of the sites would be updating as of like a week ago, and some of them still haven't updated. But in any case, the volume has dropped out of the stock. There are, the churn and short game is just over. There was no more meat on that bone. And now we've come up off of the 34 cents that was sort of the bottom, found buying pressure there in the form of Danny Deals. And then we've come up now to basically a floor of 37 cents. And I was putting in limit orders there yesterday that were getting filled, some slow, some fast, but, picked up quite a few more shares yesterday at 37 cents. And I believe this stock is just going to continue to step back up. Um, I don't know what the next, support level is. It looks like this 48 level, we found support here on March 20th, found support back here on March 29, and then, the stock fell back down to the 40 cent level. So I think, you have to challenge 40 and then 48 if you're going to make any kind of move here whatsoever. And then, of course, you'd have to break through this previous high at 64, which we made back on March 21st. Um, in terms of what's happening with the bid and the ask, like today, you're seeing the bid come in at 0.365, and most of the volume in the ask was at 40 cents. So you're not seeing any real organic trading at that level. This is still just a couple of institutions playing games with the stock. There's absolutely no reason for the stock to be trading in the 30 cents range when they were just buying millions and millions of shares in the 70-cent range. It just doesn't make any sense to be dumping them in the 30s unless you're trying to wring every single share out of retail to flip the stock and run it back up in the biggest pump that the world has ever seen, which will then lead to them dumping millions and millions of shares, I believe, and crashing the stock back down from some highs above the $4 pump. I think they'll pump it even higher, but it's hard to say. A couple of, particularly one, but then a couple of other institutional investors have, so many shares in the stock that they can move it wherever they want. But again, this is the TENX Therapeutics update. We are looking at low volume today. The stock is trading basically flat on the day with a little bit of upward price pressure. Started making a low here of 36 cents, and then the low has slowly gone up 36 and a half, and then we're riding along 37 cents trying to find some support. But it looks like we definitely have some short-term support here at 37 cents. This is the next step. The algo sort of went from 34 to 37, turned off the spigot, and here we're going to sit. What's going to happen with the stock basically over time? There's a couple of things that can happen. I mean, they're not going to short this thing into bankruptcy because um, the company has uh, plenty of cash to go on for another year without starting a trial, just as far as operations. They've made it very, very clear in their 10K and recent pronouncements that what they're looking for is a partner for the Levocin-Mendon drug. So they are putting the other drug off until at least 2024, and they're looking for a partner for a P3 trial. And as soon as they can make a deal, get some funding from a partner, they're going to start that trial. And I believe that'll, any deal, any trial, the stock is going to go flying. I mean, it's no secret Orion was selling over $100 million worth of this drug for this particular indication in a small part in less than half of the European market. This was as an IV. So with an oral formulation, patent protection to 2040, I mean, if you just look at those sales, the patent is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, but the sales should be much, much higher on an oral formulation in North America. I mean, you should be talking about 300, 500 million minimum in sales, moving past that. And there are no other treatments approved. FDA has given an endpoint on the walking test that the drug has already been shown to meet. So FDA is given favorable structure here. All that's required is some money to get this through P3, which requires a partner. I don't see 10X going it alone. They just do not have the funds, and it's any other fundraise here, whether it be debt or equity, is going to be very, very ugly. The last raise was ugly enough. But for people that are crying and upset and saying everybody's ripping off retail, remember the market cap of the whole company was, I don't before the offering was like $5 million or something, $6 million, something very, very low. So for institutional investors to step in and give you $15.5 million, I mean, of course, they're going to want 100% of the company. They're going to want 200%, 300%. I mean, why would you give $15 million for something the market is saying is worth $5 million? I mean, the only reason is if you believe in it to some degree, or if you think you can make, money off of trading shenanigans. But either way, you gave $15 million for something the market was saying was worth $5 million. So people are like shocked. Oh, they want, 90% of the company. We got diluted hard. Yeah, you got diluted hard, but then the stock crashed and you had the opportunity to re up on your position. And again, that's how these things work. don't let the share count scare you. Think of your position, your percentage of ownership of the company. And if you still believe in the product and you still believe that the P3 trial can go forward and that this particular drug could have a huge amount of sales over the next 15 or 20 years while patent protection is in place, then you have to go ahead and take advantage when the stock goes down into the mid 30s, and you have to increase your position to sort of, re up. Look at it as a round of funding. You're an investor. Do you want to participate in this round? I went ahead and participated. Whether you did or not, that's up to you. You could have dumped, but I think it's very, very foolish. Um, I see 10x. Getting this partner over the course of the year, somebody has to do the math. I don't see why Orion doesn't even come back and partner with 10x for North America. They can renew the patent, sell this drug for another decade or two, and make another billion or more dollars from this drug that is sitting again right now at an $8 million market cap. It looks like most of the warrants have been exercised. The company has almost no debt, and that's what bankrupts companies is bad debt. And this company has almost no debt. Like on their balance sheet, the end of I think the 2022, there was like less than $1 million in total debt on the company, and they have probably 12, $13 million in cash. So at the current burn rate of like less than $1 million a month, way less, well less than that, probably 800,000, the company's not going to go bankrupt for like at least another year. So this short down here is just, I mean, they're accumulating, they're churning, but they're not going to kill the company. So unless they're going to flip and go long and pump the stock way up, this whole exercise hasn't made any sense. You don't make money buying shares at 72 cents and then dumping them to me at 34. That's a losing recipe, and I may be a simple man. Um, I'm just a simple caveman. Sometimes when I'm stuck in traffic on the 405, I want to jump out of my BMW and just run off into the hills or whatever. But even as an unfrozen caveman, I can see that buying at 72 and selling at 34 is not a money making enterprise. It's money making for me because I am going to hold those shares until the stock goes through the roof on news of a P3 trial and partnership. At least that's what I hope's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. My name is Danny Deals. The stock is 10x Therapeutics, TENX. The show is Un Poco Mas, where we give you just a little bit more. Just wanted to bring you a brief update. We are sitting at approximately 37 cents. The stock has been trading at that level today. We've traded 312,000 shares. It's 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. out in NYC. We have about 3 hours of trading left. We'll have to see where does this stock go. Um, Looks like the bid. Let me just take a look at the order book, give you a final update. Yeah, there's not a lot of bids out there. There's some bid at 36, and most of the ask, a small amount of ask sitting in the 39-cent range, and then most of the ask is sitting at an unrealistic 40 cents right now. So that's why we're at a stalemate. We're at loggerheads. Very few shares are trading hands because the institutions who are running the stock don't know exactly what to do right now, so they're just kind of twiddling their thumbs today. I hope you guys have a great one. Thank you for watching. My name is Danny Deals. Have a great day.